Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and tonight I'm joined with all these fine nerds. Actually, there's no one over there to that side, but maybe up and then over. We have people, but we're going to be playing some Vast Grimm, a sci-fi horror RPG hacked from the corpse of Mork Borg. Well, maybe not the corpse, but from that game. Anyway, we have the creator joining us, Brian Colin, as well as our friends Robin Miller and Stephen Partridge, both authors, and we have Volcanic Knight in the GM's chair, Carlos Rivera, and you probably know me and Ted. With that, I'm just going to throw it to our GM.
Well, my friends, on the surface level, it would appear Batman and I have nothing in common, but that couldn't be further from the truth, because we both share a guilty pleasure of beating on clowns, which is the reason why I've come back here tonight. And why I'm playing here with my friends. Now, the dice have decided, rightfully so, that Brian should recap us.
Oh gosh, no. It's been too long. It's been like weeks and weeks, and my memory is terrible as an old man.
Fleeing the planet. That help?
Like last thing I know, like we just woke up, right? Like, or and it seems like everything's changed.
You definitely went through some peril through the caves.
I can just tell you, the only thing I remember was Lefty's crack piloting, saving everyone, both on the way to the planet, on the way off the planet. Since no one remembers anything, it must be what happened.
We landed on the surface through some problems. We began researching, where the survivors are, or the previous, people that we were looking for. We realized that our ship was all kinds of screwed up, but their ship was fine. We were going to need to find their basically, the key in order to get back out. And, we found the bodies essentially, and we found all kinds of problems. Flask brought back some samples because, that's what he's there for.
We also fought a T-Rex with chameleon powers.
And ran, as we were not going to be able to defeat it, right?
I'm pretty sure we kicked its ass on our way out.
That is what I will officially put on my report as well.
Also,
hey, you know what? We fought it. It's no longer alive. So I guess we won.
Indeed. Skylar, by any chance you would chime in on this?
So I remember that we were looking for our coworkers, and we had found their campsite in our first session. And in the second session, we kind of explored it a little bit. There was some hallucinogenic atmospheric things going on. And
AKA a good time.
Went through our hallucination, whatnot. We found a tower inside underground that had like a pink glow to it. We found the mangled corpse of one of our fellow coworkers who we were looking for, whose journal we had found and were reading, as she was describing that her other companion, compatriot, coworker, what have you, was going crazy. We ended up finding him wearing robes and acting very culty. And so we decided to fight him because he was kind of in a fighting mood. And we ended up expelling a thing out of him that was really gross. And then we took him in a bag back to the Twister, where we were rocket launching off to try to escape this explosion that was impending. The planet exploded, and that was what I remember. It was a singularity, if I recall, is what it was specifically called. I'm not sure what that is as a person, but I know it's not just one, or if it is just one, it's still really big and bad. So that's what I remember. And we were waking up to hear them say, "Are they alive?"
I was just about to comment on how this was the worst recap ever, and then Steven totally saved it.
Yes, I wish the dice chose Steve, but hey, that's how dice work, right, folks?
Oh no, it's good that the dice did not choose Steven because the rest of us would have looked very bad.
Hey, I had some details in there.
None
I'm
of you
just
guys
teasing.
looked bad. I'm just
Oh.
a
I'm just
nerd.
teasing. I'm sorry.
Well, at the end of the day, the point is we're back, folks, and we're here to have a good time. Sort of.
Sort
All
of.
right.
Sort of.
So, as you guys are reacclimating to to your surroundings, those with fleshy components, your hands are going numb. I don't know what a cold reboot feels like for robots, but I imagine it was almost like waking up from a blackout.
What if you have both going on?
Absolutely, whatever.
You have to use
they
the
want,
restroom and get an oil change.
right? So who are those on the main bridge?
Well, I would be on the main bridge
You're
because
definitely drunk.
I'm playing Lefty Lawson, the machine. He's part machine, part human on all minor, and he's also an amazing pilot. So where else would he be but where the piloting happens?
Exactly. I believe Skylar may be on deck as well, if you want to introduce your character.
Skylar was in the area where the cryo chambers were because Flask was already gone in. We, the meat bags, were going to go in when everything exploded. So Skylar hadn't gone in yet, but was about to. I don't know where the cryo chambers are in relation to the deck.
Pretty far away, but
Okay.
you know, yes. And if memory serves correctly, Mara was manning weapons. If you want to introduce your character,
Yes.
feel free to do so.
All right. Yeah. So Mara has an awesome screw mohawk and is firing some weapons right now, and that is all you need to know about Mara.
Again, good stuff. Was Buckaroo in the main area as well? The bridge?
Yes, I believe so. I am adjusting and trying to wipe away some of the metal to make sure that my clown nose is still on properly after the cold reboot. And there is something weird going on with my programming. As lefty, are things okay?
And Flask, I believe you were also cryoing.
Yeah, he was. Flask is a biochemist. He's probably the only one here that actually really cares about the company that we work for, Grimm. He's a little bit left of center, kind of abnormal, but after doing lots of different experiments and what have you, it's taken its toll upon not only his appearance but his mind as well. Uh, Having, in his opinion, successfully done whatever could be done for the mission. He stored the samples and stuff that I collected, and well, I don't fly the ship and whatever. I was here for the research stuff, so he went right to cryo.
And take it away. Lefty, do you respond to Buckaroo?
What is going on? Like looking at the ship sensors, does everything in the cabin seem legit and okay, or is there something going on? Or do we feel like we're back in the acid trip?
So, as Buckaroo inquires out, Lefty, I can't see. Is everything okay? What happens is a noise is heard. Are they alive? And a second voice follows. Not for much longer. As you hear, you all notice the sound of a double bang stick. Then he says, you hear a voice hearing. He doesn't look like the others. And to you, Lefty, you're hearing, "Hey, you, are you okay?"
Wait, when I look, I just see that I'm in the bridge.
Yeah, you're on the bridge piloting. And as you're coming to, getting reacclimated with your surroundings, you hear a double banging shotgun cocking back.
I
And-
corkscrew immediately.
I love it. Okay.
This is the way.
This is
I-
indeed the way.
I over the comms, I say to our crew, to my legion, the move, and so they just know what's about to happen. So they know to like secure themselves or whatever.
All right, let's go.
I'm
So
gonna magnetize my treads into the ground so I don't get thrown.
So both these individuals failed their dex test, and they literally they're slammed against the wall. You want to describe how these mysterious individuals get slammed around, or
What do they like? So what do they look like? Where are they? Like you said, you were hearing them, but we're not seeing any of this, right?
yeah. So after you make your maneuver and these individuals get knocked around, what's going to happen is you're assessing the situation of who is on your bridge, and you see a little girl. She has red hair, a mechanical right arm. She's about the age around 12 years old. And you see a man, he's definitely grizzled up. He looks like he has seen the worst that humanity has to offer him.
Can I do something?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is it kill the ginger because they're evil?
I pull out a white, no, but soon. I pull out a white balloon, start blowing up this balloon, start twisting it into the shape of a space worm, as you know, balloons would be. This is in particular a turgis worm, so it's got lots of segments. And I say, "Here, young lady, I've got a balloon for you."
First you knocked me on my ass, and now you're giving me balloons.
It will make you feel better. It'll bring a smile to your face.
Well, I haven't seen one of these in years. As she takes it.
As that happens, Lefty, you would know any of my balloons are filled with all sorts of toxins and stuff, so you would know to kind of cover your face. And I squeeze my wrench claw, making it pop, and D2 creatures within nearby creatures must take a toughness test or enter into a small empty padded room inside their subconscious, trapped there catatonic for D6 rounds.
I remember this. This is how you undid my last encounter. If you don't mind, can you please roll the D2?
Yep.
It'll save me time.
Odd even. It is 2.
Alrighty, toughness test. Standard DR or
Yeah, standard DR 12.
they're both gonna pass.
Okay.
So the fumes. It's horrible. And then the guy says, as he takes his bang stick, pushes the little girl aside, "I said no funny business." As he stares and he's noticed he's talking to a clown.
Like, that is all I do.
I will also pull my bang stick and point it at him.
I love this. As you pull the band stick upon this gentleman, the girl flips her mechanical arm, almost like flips into like a saber, if you will. Kind of like looks like he's about to stab you, but not really. Almost like you are in a standoff. no one besides the fact the weapons are pulled, it doesn't look like anyone has any hostile looks in their eyes, you know what I mean? If you're catching my drift.
What are you doing on our bridge? How did you get on our ship?
Look, we just came here to salvage some equipment. We didn't know. We had no idea that, like, you had a crazy ass robot on board.
We got more than one. Dorothy, why didn't you alert us? Are our sensors online?
As you call out to Dorothy, you don't get a response, but you do notice that these individuals are very weary of Buckaroo specifically.
God damn it, Dorothy! I can't take a shit without one of your Toto bots being there. Where are you? Mara, Flask, Skylar, come on! We got a situation.
Can I unfreeze Flask and like we can head up there?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna unfreeze Flask, fill him in on whatever I know from the comm link, and go from there.
That or we hand truck his cryo tube up to the deck, to the bridge.
Are we there yet? We're already.
So, as Mara, Flask, and Skylar make their way through the halls of their ship, the Kansas, it looks like it has taken a massive beating. Electrical wires are exposed, sparks are flying. You see Coolidge leaking. It's almost like it's turning to like a little foggish type area. Your ship needs a major repair. At a quick glance, though you guys are not engineers, you guys totally know this ship is going nowhere. As you guys make your way through the hallways of the area, a red pulsating light is almost like, showing off, like of a critical state of how the ship is breathing stuff through the area. And it just spreads even further through the fact that like the Kool-Aid leakage is like making it spread farther. And you guys make your way to the bridge. And the girl looks like she's on edge and kind of like she almost like backs away towards the corner. Whatever edge she can find.
So I guess Skylar might be first, just because Skylar was probably kind of racing ahead, seeing all this damage, because Skylar's the technomaniac, right? So just thinking about all these repairs that need to happen and sort of muttering to herself, like, what's going on? Why was this the explosion? And then eventually sort of stumbles into the main bridge. You see this tall, athletic built individual, a scarlet orange hoodie, white pants, black midriff shirt, red visor glasses, and a massive robotic attachment, like a gauntlet, like a massive robotic gauntlet with coalescing colors in these veins that are like the cybernetics on a motherboard, sort of walks through and immediately says, what's going, guests, hello.
And as you guys are coming, like, so I guess this ship isn't abandoned fully. At least had the goddamn decency to put up an SOS or anything else. As he's looking around, you could have saved the lives of my crew.
Well, it's not exactly like we had a lot of time. The explosion literally just happened. Who are you, by the way? And
He
how
looks-
did you get
he-
here?
With that comment, he looks extremely visibly confused.
Wait, what do you, I also look confused. What do you mean saved your crew? SOS. We're not in distress. We're fine. We're just heading back to the corporate piece of craps we work for to hand in our report and finally get paid.
Well, we might be in distress, actually, Lefty. See,
Is he still
here's-
pointing the gun at Lefty?
Well, at the point where he made a comment along the lines of like the explosion just happened, he kind of lowers his weapon and he's kind of
Wait a minute. You. Did the Galactic Research Institute for Mysterious Materials send you?
Grimm. They haven't been around since, god damn, I'll say about 100 years.
They're gone.
I run over to
Excuse me?
Mara, forgetting that I'm holding the gun on what's his face, and pick Mara up and kind of like start twirling around with Mara.
They're gone.
They're out.
Yeah, I am joining this 30-second dance party.
We
What the
never
heck
have
do you
to see
mean
a
they're gone?
freaking
They're
tuna
on
bot
the
again.
ship. As you guys are celebrating, you know, throwing a little rave inside, I think he immediately chimes, they're on the ship.
The corporation is on the ship.
Look, you guys didn't see that thing walking around with blue eyes and glowing visceral things everywhere?
The doctors?
Oh no, he must have gotten out of the bag.
Oh. Yeah, the doctors. They had a bad trip on some shrooms.
They're not the only ones, it looks like. Are they looking around?
Where did you say you lost your crew?
Here,
Here?
on this ship.
Where?
First
We-
Jesse in the mess hall.
I mean, the food's bad, but it's not that bad.
Playing hide and seek and you just can't find them? I'm rather confused. How did you lose crew on our ship?
Look, you have these damn floating robot dogs flying around, shooting people down.
Yes,
And
because it's
next-
our ship.
They never do anything that useful. They're more
And
like accountants. But the most evil kind.
Like accountants crossbred with mosquitoes.
Look, I don't like all of this weirdness this soon after cryo. You best start talking straight, or we're just gonna have you pushed out the airlock.
all right. So as he looks to you three that made your way towards the bridge, I guess this route that you guys took is the safest route. We came in through the docking bay, just trying to make a quick score. Nothing complicated. Nothing out of the ordinary, you know? Saw a ship in the drift, hailed it, no answer. We came in looking for the goods. As soon as we landed, we were attacked. This damn robot voice echoed throughout the area. Didn't think much of it. Then she sucked the hounds on us. But that wasn't the worst bit. As he's looking around, he sees that he believes you guys are thinking he's full of all of it. And he's like, hey, didn't you see them walking about, the zombies?
Zombies? Like from motion pictures?
I think he
Look.
spent too much time without oxygen.
Perhaps.
You said the Galactic Research Institute for Mysterious Materials is gone. How long have they been gone? And I put up my hand for a high five with Mara.
He said
I'd
they haven't
slap
been
it
seen
for
for
sure.
100 years.
100 years? Wait a minute. That would make me, I don't know, really old.
Senior discount.
Look, if
Tell
you guys
us.
don't believe me, you guys can see through it your own ship.
Dorothy's not responding.
No. Can you tell us about your ship, since you no longer have a crew?
Well, wouldn't be our damn luck that it took our pilots. Any chance any of you guys are pilots?
I'm a pilot, but I have like the best ship already.
This ship is not the best ship.
Well, it's the best one I
certainly not
got.
the best now. We saw a lot of damage that I think happened from that explosion. What gets me is that the damage happened internally. And also, just point of order. I think introductions are in line since we're clearly not intending to shoot each other's faces off. Hi, I'm Skylar, he, she, they, and just extends the robot hand as like a gesture to like shake with the guy that has the big gun.
He puts it away. Jax, tough as SOB over me.
I shoulder my bang stick and extend my claw. Lefty Lawson, still not promising not to shoot anybody's face off yet, but we'll see how things go. It's still early.
The little girl extends her claw, her little saber arm converts back to a regular hand, shakes your hand, Lefty. Two robotic hands just giving a firm handshake, and it's like, Nova.
Did you lose your arm in an industrial accident too?
Industrial accident? No.
Oh, just me.
I mean, don't like to talk about it too much, but Jax made sure I was okay afterwards.
That was good of him. I lean in and kind of whisper, "Do you still have Phantom Limb?" It's really creepy.
And as introductions are going about and how Nova and Jax both meet Buckaroo, Skyler, Flask, and Mara. I didn't forget names because I have little notes on the side. And as all this is happening, with each reading, you guys can tell they seem pretty sincere in what they have said. And though there was hostilities in the beginning, they seem very genuine in what they said and what they believe. And they say, well, yeah. And you notice, Mara, the Nova is more or less admiring your whole chromed out get up. You know.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. I flex a little.
Whoa. Nova turns to Jax. Can I turn my arm yellow too? And Jax just retorts, if we got out here alive, you could turn to burgundy for all I care. And
does the computer work just not respond to vocal commands, or is our ship fried?
Hey, Lefty, would you like to jack in?
I would.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how I normally do things.
So, as you all try to flip knobs and flip switches, things seem to work here and there. Lefty gets the bright idea, hey, maybe I should plug in real fast. And Lefty, if you don't mind telling me how you experienced jacking in.
I think when Lefty jacks in, what he does, his claw arm, actually the claw itself, like pops open, and the R2D2 little probe comes out and inserts into the port and begins
But
spinning.
how does Lefty perceives it in his brain? Like, are you?
Oh,
walking
I
around-
think it just comes up almost like he's looking at a HUD.
Okay. So, as this virtual hub appears in front of you, it doesn't look like anything you've seen before. If I'm going to use colors as a metaphor, if the hub came up as blue, this is showing up as red, and it's not. You attempt to give it commands, almost like the commands are leading you in one direction, and as you think, when you think you're about to get the information you think you're going to get, it loops you back from the beginning. You can easily tell that the ship is in a hostile state, treating you as if you were a hostile entity. And while you're jacking into this interface, you hear, Lefty, is that you?
It is storming badly here. If I disappear, we probably lost power.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, Dorothy, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
What's going on? Why is everything so strange in here? Why are you fighting me, girl?
As you ask that question, you hear Buckaroo's voice. Dottie, can you please give us some privacy? And almost like everything's blocked into like Buckaroo's perspective as they were talking to Skylar about the corp is not as it is. It's not how it should be. Something might be wrong. We need to do something about this. And then you get a little stat back, and immediately what happens is you see a red Buckaroo appear before you. Looks totally mellowed out. We're talking, if Buckaroo was like happy-go-lucky clown thing, this thing has spice. It's really hardcore looking.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of a balloon pushing you out, it more or less hits you with a javelin as it knocks you out of the system. You take no damage, no issues there, but you are knocked backwards on your ass.
I kind of look over at Buckaroo in astonishment. What did you do to Dorothy? I mean, I hated that bitch, but still, what did you do?
Whatever do you mean?
You're in there.
I am everywhere. No, I am not in there. In where? When you were just jacked in?
Yeah,
I am right here before you.
I heard you talking to Skylar before we cryoed down.
Well, I know before we cryoed down, I downloaded myself into the system, as I always do, as a safety measurement, as a backup. But I am here. And I spin around like I've got my treads in the ground. And I just kind of spin like a 360. See, I am here.
Yeah, but you're also in there, and you're very hostile, and it seems like you might have taken over Dorothy.
There are lots
Buddy.
of things.
And buddy, not only were you in there, you were in the mess hall, you were in the hallways, you were even goddamn docking bay.
I have multiplied?
I don't think that's it. You don't look the same, but close enough, I suppose.
Interesting. And you said it's been 100 years.
Yeah.
Skylar,
Yeah.
Can you give Buckaroo a checkup?
I guess. Are you okay with that, Buckaroo?
No, I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to insist as the pilot of this here vessel.
Do not honk my nose, please.
No nose honking, I promise. So yeah, I guess Skylar would like to do a quick diagnostic of Buckaroo just to see where they're at.
So a full diagnostics would reveal logs and all that good jazz to make sure things are working as they should be. Security protocols are as they are. All the information showing up positive, but if Lefty described his experiences, you would notice that it does matches up to what's in Buckaroo's logs, aka everything he said with you, done with you. Any sort of moments where he asked for privacy in those moments with Dorothy.
Okay. Did the thing that happened with Lefty show up in the log?
No, it didn't show up at all.
Okay. I don't think it was Buckaroo necessarily. Did you see an image of Flask?
No.
Because if Dorothy is tainted, it's possible that she has made a sort of cyber clone of anyone with a digital imprint. So someone like myself who doesn't actually have a digital imprint or Flask would not be part of that, but someone like Buckaroo, Mara, or you might be able to be cloned.
Dottie was fond of me.
So as that happens, the main viewer turns on. Dorothy's etherical head appears on the main viewer, and it says, "Hello, Legionnaires. How are you all doing?"
Dorothy, what did you do to my ship while we were out?
Haha, nothing. So, as you all look upon this AI with a bit of confusion, you all catching the nuances of what Dorothy is saying, she retorts, "Legionnaires, new information has been entered into my databanks, and what seems to be the case is your contracts are now all terminated." The images of your faces show up, lined up, and it has a humongous X on it.
I believe we've been marked as
mortified.
Yep.
I'm sorry, was Mara gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got very distracted by a thunderclap.
Oh, we heard it and saw the lightning behind you just before.
I feel like it's just like that ominous like preclude to anything Robin says. Like this should be happening more, not less.
All right. So, Mara is just gonna sigh and be like, "Yeah, I thought that's where this was going. And not if we get you first. I'm ready to throw a punch."
Okay. And what happens is the vents open up as
Oh no.
several total bots open. there is an elevator, a lift, if you will, that activates. You know, this elevator comes from the lower levels as well. It will take a little bit of while for the elevator to reach this area, but if you guys don't mind, can everyone, Brian, I know how combat works.
Yes.
Can you please roll me 2d6s? The range is between 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. Please tell me your result.
4 and a 5.
4 and a 5. Okay, can you roll one more time, please?
And a 3.
All right, thank you very much. In this order, you guys will be going second. Please roll me your individual initiatives. That'll be a d20 plus agility tests. It looks like it's rolling hot tonight. Ready?
I have a 1.
Awesome.
And we have our favors back because we got a long rest, correct?
Indeed. Definitely are starting off full favors, full HP, all that good jazz.
Do we re-roll favors every time?
You don't. You re-roll neuromancy points.
Okay.
This is a D4.
What is the starting favors?
Depends on your
Different for everybody.
Yeah, and what you.
And I don't believe I got Mara's.
Yes. That will be a 3.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to, believe it or not, we're going to start with one of the Totobots coming in. This Totobot is going to fire off rounds into Buckaroo. Buckaroo, if you don't mind, please giving me a
Agility test.
Thank you, sir.
I got a 12 total.
That will do it. So as these bulls are shooting through into you, you kind of like make your way out of it. And that will put you, Buck, next. You see a total of 5 total bots in the room with you. Buckaroo, you are next in line.
Okay. I'm going to try and shoot the one that was shooting at me with my squirting flower.
Okay.
Eats away at armor, and let's see. I got a 14.
That will do it. Please roll damage.
It does 5.
Excellent. So as you shoot at this total bot, it almost like it melts away onto the floor in a goop.
I pull on my flower. Bullseye.
Another total bot comes by and fires off over at Skylar.
Of course.
Sure, why not? Please make me a agility test.
Oh, I'm not great at this. Hopefully it works. 16. That's not bad. 16 plus 0.
Well, the base number you need is 12, bare minimum. So, hey, good stuff. Yeah, so you definitely make your test. You want to describe how you dodge out of the way?
So Skylar actually jumps out of the way and sort of as they're jumping, Skylar is going to, I don't know, am I allowed to do a thing with this or no?
You can flavor it any way you want.
Okay. Wants to like try to just grab onto it to like change its course and like push it a different direction.
Okay.
He goes, "Bad dog."
Flask, you are next in the order.
So, he's like, from the moment that they're, showing these X's, like he's been kind of like pleading and begging, like, what do you mean we're fired? This doesn't make any sense. When they start going, in attack mode, it's like, all right, well, this sucks. I guess I really don't have a choice. And he'll pull out the gummy stick, and he's gonna wail on the dude that Skylar just kind of pushed in his direction.
Sure thing. Please give me a strength test.
All right, that's going to be a 13.
That would definitely hit. Please roll damage.
What is the damage on the gummy stick?
Not sure.
Right,
D6, I believe.
D6. Thought it was a D6 or D8. Wasn't sure. All right, it's going to be 4.
D8 sounds too much for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with something with the name word gummy in it.
It breaks a bone on a crit, but
4 damage.
Oh, okay, so as you wail this thing, its head caves in a bit, but it's still operational.
Looks like 5's the number, boys.
So it looks like 2 more Totobots are gonna have its turn. Flask and Mara, please give me. I mean, I'm not Flask. Lefty Mara, please give me agility test.
Is it an agility test or a defense?
Defense test is an agility test.
Yeah, well, for intents and purposes for the Manchine, they're slightly different. I get more of a penalty to agility test than I do defense.
This is just a defense roll. So I mean, it
So-
uses the agility modifier, but
Yeah, I understand. I only need a
Forgive me.
17 on the die.
forgive me if I'm mincing words, but defense
Oh,
roll
oh,
using
oh,
agility.
oh. It disappeared.
It's-
it disappears.
Yeah,
with its magic.
show us the clear nothing you're
Oh,
holding.
17 on the die.
I can't
Okay.
believe it. Now, had it been
You
a
know-
straight agility test, I would have needed a 19 on the die.
Wow. You know what? That seems pretty miraculous. How about you describe to me how you escape pain?
I think he like sees Buckaroo melt one of the Totobots, and he starts celebrating, jumping up and down, inadvertently dodging out of the way of the fire that's incoming because he is not agile and he does not really get out of the way very well.
It's hilarious, Dave.
Nice. Mara also needed to make a test. How did they do?
15.
Fabulous. You guys are rolling hot tonight. Congratulate you all. Do you also want to describe how you escape pain?
All right. I want to like Matrix twist out of the way of one of these like Totobots.
Absolutely. Like I being an emo bot, I actually see it kind of like you're just like twisting your whole upper torso for a moment, and as you're coming back to normal, you put your hand down and kind of like twist your way out.
Some Blade Runner replica moves.
All I want is to grab one of these Totobots and smash it into another one. I don't even care if we get to kill them all. That is just a thing that I will do.
Well, you'll be able to do that in 2 turns. Skylar,
yeah.
you're up.
Okay. Did you say the lift is coming up to where we are?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I do not like that because they said there's zombies afoot. And I don't like any part of zombies, including the feet. So I would like to try to do it as like a crowbar or something. I can pry the door open.
That wouldn't stop the elevator from continuously rise up.
Correct. I want to try to blast the elevator cord with my nanobots.
Got you, Chief. Got you,
Yeah.
Chief. I see where your brain's going now.
I have an iron bar you can borrow.
Oh, perfect. So I'll be
do have
like,
a crowbar.
Lefty, bar, please.
Yeah, like you have enough movement to reach Lefty and then hit the elevator.
He
In fact,
just
Lefty's
carries a
next to the
breaker
elevator.
bar around with him, like kind of wedged in his mining parts, and he just like chucks over to him.
All right, and then
I have a
Skylar will
crowbar as well, so
pry it open. And I don't know how much of that I can do in one turn.
Oh, you just have to give me a strength test.
Oh, do I still have the effects from the serum that I got?
From 100 years ago?
Yeah, basically 100 years ago.
Unfortunately.
But like, if it was a time jump, I don't know if it's still working.
I don't want to be an dude, but I'm gonna have to say nay.
Okay, that's fair. Oh dear, it fell off the table. Let's do that again. 5. I know that didn't work.
You want to
You
spend a
really-
favor to re-roll it? Is it that important to your character?
Skylar, if you
Yeah.
bend my bar,
I think it is. I think it is. It's important enough to re-roll it. So I'm gonna spend a favor. 17, that's much better. I like that.
Good stuff.
-1, 16.
So as I see it in my head, I see Skylar trying to plunge it in. It's not working for a second. Hold on, we're feeling. And then your gauntlet activates to activate the nanobots to
Mhm.
kind of like push it open fully.
Yeah.
That's your action, but you did what you wanted to do. Do you have any other ability you would use, or is that it?
I don't think I can use my nano blast.
It'll be all action as well.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna have to wait till next turn, but I've at least got the thing open, and I'm gonna verbalize to everybody. I want to cut this cord now. So if somebody else wants to jump in, they can jump in.
does
Well,
Skylar mention their fear of the zombies?
Yes, absolutely. Zombies impending. I want to cut this cord yesterday.
Mara, is your turn.
Yeah, I want to grab one of these Toto bots and slam it into another Toto bot. Talk me through what I need to do.
So, from what I have seen, and because the rules of Astro are pretty loosey goosey, which is why I love it, folks. What I'm gonna say is you're pretty cognizant of everything that has occurred. I'll be even generous to say, like, you target specifically the one that Flask had bashed in earlier.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'll do for you is this. We'll do it all in a single roll. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna use a bit of movement to reach one Totobot,
Okay.
and you're going to do a strength test.
Okay.
If you pass, you can definitely use the remainder of your movement and use that same roll to bash in the bots.
We are looking at 19 total.
Alrighty.
So, may I?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna grab this stupid mechanical dog by its stupid chassis. I am going to swing it like a battering ram, and I am going to slam it into the butthole of the dog next to it.
So I don't know if there's bludgeoning damage for it, but this sounds like the same as like a gummy stick would. Brian, am I IMO?
Sure. Why not?
Carlos, do
Please.
not promise that we would get bonuses if we called it wormholing.
I did. Please
I
roll
would
a
like
D6.
bonus damage to this stupid mechanical dog.
All right, roll a d6, add +1.
Okay. 7.
Describe this plethora of shenanigans.
How do you destroy one Toto bot's butthole with the other Toto bot?
Go for
Just
it,
like
please.
that.
That's your +1, but I feel like it's well worth it.
Mhm.
It's just it's gonna like break apart at the seams and like you know those annoying lines that the Toto bots do over and over again. It's just gonna get stuck repeating that a couple of times before it finally drowns out in an unholy, glorious silence.
Does Mara say anything as you swing one into the other?
Oh no, they just look content. This is dissonant serenity.
Nice. Love it. That is epic. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to roll morale for these. I cannot believe I rolled 2 1s. But the total bots, seeing the rage in Mara's eyes, see they're no match and venture their way back out. One goes into the vent and the other one goes through the main entrance. And that will take us out of combat. If you guys give me 1 moment, I need to take care of something real fast, but feel free to converse.
So for anyone following at home who's maybe this is your first session, the Toto bots look like the canine unit from the original Doctor Who, like 1960s, 1970s, except for it rolling around on wheels. It kind of flies on like drone turbines. I'm so sad I did not get to kill a Toto bot this time.
There will be more.
So did anyone else just notice that Dorothy fired us? Like, I mean, I'm sure that Lefty and Mara are happy about that, but Flask?
Oh no, we just got sent away from a job that no longer exists. We've been exiled from an island that sunk.
This is indeed horrible.
I put a clawed hand on Flask's shoulder. Don't worry, my friend. I think you'll probably be eligible for basic universal income now.
I don't know what to do with my time. I don't know if it has truly been 100 years or more since we actually departed from that planet. What is life to be like? What about all of our things back home? What about
Ooh, perhaps a
so
treasure
much
hunt.
to
Jax retorts, and correct me if I'm correct, you're reminiscing of what life is like.
what is life going to be like now that it's been supposedly 100 years since we departed the last planet? Potentially longer. It's just if it's been 100 years since Grimm has been in existence, it's possibly more than much more than that. It could be 200 or 300 years for all we know.
Jax.
What?
So I do have a question for you. Not sure how to put this, but these zombies that you talked about, did the Galactic Research Institute for Mysterious Materials have something to do with creating them?
Buddy, look. Like I said, they've been out of business for quite some time, but what I can say for certain is this damn blue-eyed Grimm, he ambushed one of my crew. Got bit right into it, good, right inside the goddamn jugular, right? And he went down. Nothing none of us have ever seen before. came back up. Then, as we made our way through, another one was ghoulish folks went around. Will you believe this one was dressed in goddamn robe?
Oh,
Funny.
yeah, that's crazy. No one would have ever expected that. A robe, you say? Like a bathrobe?
I suppose, man. More like a shower curtain, but wait, what do I know?
Oh, wait, is the elevator still coming up?
Yeah, Skylar's still holding that, like, got that propped open.
I was planning on just blasting it as soon as I could.
Sure, feel free to blast away.
Okay. Do I need to roll to hit it?
I'm gonna say hitting it isn't a problem, but let's see how much you can damage it. If you could please give me a presence test.
Okay. I just do a D4 at a time, usually. Just so you know.
Sure.
So it's not like a lot of damage. I rolled a 3.
So, but what do you get for your presence test?
3 plus 4, 7.
Man, all that presence for what?
I know, right?
Anyone got-
So, go ahead.
I think Skylar's distracted right now because Skylar will kind of turn and say, "You're talking about this thing as if Grimm is a noun and like there's more of them."
So, as you say that, so before you retort to say that, you definitely take a solid blast at this thing. You hit it, it just didn't do any damage. So yeah, Jax is gonna retort. Look, I can't say this area is going to be safe any longer. I applaud your thinking and I applaud your ingenuity for getting this rope cut and whatnot, but I don't think the rope wants to get cut at the moment.
Especially since they're probably like magna strips or something in the future.
Look, you guys can stay here if you want.
You said you need a pilot?
Yeah, we need a pilot.
Does that ship have weapons?
It has everything you need. More than this piece of junk.
Oh, whoa, easy. That's our piece of, well, it was our piece of junk. Kansas needs to be scuttled, Mara. What do you think?
Pardon, I'm sorry. I was paying attention to the weather.
The Kansas needs to be scuttled. Their ship is full of weapons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I haven't corkscrewed in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Can I well, I'll verbalize everybody. I can pack up the food and our other supplies in my rolling footlocker that's no longer occupied by a pink-veined, blue-eyed zombie wearing a robe.
As Jax more or less.
She's kidding. She's just kidding. She didn't have like any kind of zombie in a robe in her locker. He's
Well,
just
of
got
course
normal
I
stuff
don't.
in there.
Empty.
Well, Jax says, well, if we came here for supplies, and if you got supplies you wish to pack, then please lead the way.
So yeah, Skylar will take everything that he has, and will also just take the rolling footlocker along with them. And
well, if you're going to gather provisions, remember you're on the main bridge. Provisions would be in the equipment locker area.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll go there. I thought I had all my stuff on me that I have character sheet from when we came on the ship.
Absolutely, you definitely have your stuff that you have on your character sheet. I was under the impression you wanted additional provisions.
Oh yes, we do. We want food, we want weapons, all the business, but we have to go to get those. On the way, Skylar will kind of just talk to Jax and Nova. If Nova's engaging, Nova's a child, so Skylar's kind of more or less just letting Nova engage at whatever capacity Nova wants, and is basically filling him in kind of now that they've had a combat together on what everybody does strength-wise, utility-wise on the ship. Also, it fills him in on the nanobot situation with their gauntlet.
Okay. So Nova, while you're making conversation even there, she's kind of like, well, it's not that she's not. Have you ever been like a child and you're kind of like being polite, but you can definitely see their attention is directed elsewhere. The entire time as you're making conversation and you're noticing Nova's not fully engaged, but at the same time without feeling like your words are not going towards empty air, you kind of direct it towards Jax here and there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you get like a tingling that Noah may be checking out tomorrow a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and Nova kind of asks you is like, what would I need to do to look like that?
Well, dear, I think there's not a lot of looking like that specifically because
But it's so cool.
Mara's an emobot. You're a person. But that being said, I'm sure if you want that same color, you could go with that same color. Mara's pretty great, but you should be you.
I am me. But, and he points over to Lefty. I mean, look, he's kind of like me, but more so.
That's true. If you
Could
want,
you could certainly make some modifications. I don't know who you would talk to, especially if Grimm is not really around anymore. But depends upon what aspects of Mara or Lefty that you are looking to have done.
And you kind of get a notion from Jax, like Jax is sort of protective of Nova and saying like, look, she gets older, she wants to, that's fine by me, but I don't know.
It would be very, very complicated to do, any, biomechanical enhancements at this age, since our biological components would still be growing. They would be impeded by the mechanical, and they would have to be replaced every so often. But if you wait until you've fully grown, it would be much easier on you and, thus the one performing the operations.
You hear that, kid? Not till you're older. Don't want to keep doing repeated surgeries and whatnot. So why don't we all take a step back from the talk and whatnot? Anyone that has a notion of what's going on here, it's not that Jax is holding back Nova, but it's a matter of like just want to make sure she's fully thinking it out.
Is Jax fully human, or does he have mechanical aspects as well?
Jax, so you notice that Jax's left leg is mechanical. You hear it whenever he's walking through the ship with the whole, half his legs just sounds like a normal footstep, and the other half dunk, has like a dunk to it.
I'm the only one on this ship that's fully human. Got it.
Skylar's human.
Skylar's human. Skylar just has like a robot gauntlet that they wear.
They have a timeshare in their body that they share with nanobots.
I thought you actually had like an actual biomechanical aspect to your character.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, apologies then.
Hey,
They
all
share
good.
the-
Skylar will look over at Nova and just whisper, like lean down and whisper, though, Mara's really cool, and I bet you they'd be willing to hang out with you if you ask them.
And they're kind of like looking at you like, and even though you could tell like there's a whole bunch of excitement in their face, she immediately says bullshit. Which strikes you for a moment because you're not used to children talking like that.
Well, I suppose you can figure out if you want to hang out with Mara later. Right now, we need to get supplies.
Yeah.
So, Jax, our weapons are over this way. Just lead him to where the weapons are kept. You said something about there being other threats on the ship besides the Totobots?
Oh, that reminds me. While you were worried about zombies coming up that elevator, I was thinking it might have been Dark Buckaroo.
Mm.
I think that's a hell of a lot more scary than zombies.
If it is a replication of me, surely they will be able to reason with me, and they wouldn't cause our crew any harm.
Well, hopefully, but if Dorothy made a digital clone of you, who's telling what code she altered? It might not all be cosmetic.
Interesting.
So, Flask, please roll me a d10. And Skylar and Mara, please roll me 2d6.
2d6 each or 1d6 each?
2d6 each. If you could put in chat, the results are help me organize things fast.
Okay, do you want that separately or as one total?
Yeah, so it's going to be so how kind of Skylar has it in chat, the both
Okay.
results together.
No. There we go.
Okay. So I as you guys go through all the stuff, you would gain you're gonna gain 8 provisions. So you have 8 rations. You're also going to have a claw of Soel. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So I will read it out fast, and then it will you guys are gonna be able to, I'll put it in chat for you guys. A blade forged from a claw of visceral evil beast. It's gonna do 1d10 damage. Once it draws blood, the knife wants to continue bloodshed. PC wants to stop fighting. You're gonna need a presence test. And you're also going to receive surgical instructions on how to remove whatever you want with a laser pen.
Oh my.
Wow. And you're putting these in the chat, right? So we can.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
And 3. it's going to be you are going to also have a book of someone's potential dates. One of the names is known to you, Mari. This is what you rolled. Whose book is it?
Ask
some
me
reason,
whose book
someone
it
left-
is.
For someone's reason, yeah, someone left a book of potential promiscuous contacts that they left that you now have.
This
Or do you
was
share that with the
originally this was the ship of the last two, Grimm people. Could have been one of them if you want.
I think that would be hilarious, even if that person isn't around anymore. So let's go with that.
Alrighty. It's gonna be Elias. The individual's notes that you found in the cavern.
Okay.
Alrighty. So as you guys are gathering up your equipment, you venture your way out towards the docking bay. But you notice an issue. The cooling that was exposed earlier is making the area hard to breathe. Those with lungs would have issues venturing down the specific corridor. Do you find another way, or do you persevere?
Hold your breath. I will pull you through.
Do we have like rebreathers or something on the ship?
Yeah, they're down that hallway.
So because the original mission didn't call for environmental equipment, there's no extra beyond the one suit.
Typical corporate bullshit.
Right. The one suit that we use for like repairs on Downer Hall.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to pull a Deus Ex Machina here. I would like to use my skill True North.
You may.
To know which way is better. So Skylar will just flick the visor down, and you see the gauntlet revs up with these coalescing colors. And yeah. Also, if nobody cares, I kind of think Skylar would like to add the claw as like an augment to the gauntlet because I think it would be really cool.
Problems here?
Sweet.
Add away.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, the thing will rev up with all these coalescing colors. You'll see that the nanobots start like going under Skylar's skin as they do, and their eyes flicker into this like opalescent, luminous color behind the visor, making the visor shine red. And I will use a DR8 presence test. And that is a 14 plus 4, so 18.
Yeah, I mean, seems like you rolled high enough to me.
So is this the best way to go, like just straight through, or is there another way that's better for us?
So as you visor in and you're like navigating your way through, your nanobots kind of indicate through a vent is the best location to get closer to the docking bay.
Okay. All right, so Skylar will verbalize this, and then Buckaroo, do you want to lead the way?
How large is the vent? My treads are quite wide.
It's an air vent. We're talking
Oh,
We're talking small people size.
Mara.
Yes.
Since you do not need to breathe, would you like to go with me through the leakage?
I would gladly. Yes.
We're splitting the party?
I will not fit through the vent. Is there anything on your ship, Jax, Nova, that would help our group breathe?
Fresh air is the best that we got on our ship right now. It doesn't look like you guys have that here.
If I cannot fit through the vent, then it does not seem to make sense for me to lead the way through the vent.
Oh, we're going through the vent. Okay. Can I fit in the vent?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go in the vent then. I'm gonna brave it. Let's go. I'm the one that said we gotta go this way, so I'm gonna go this way.
I don't think I would fit in the vent either. I mean, I was re-put together with mining equipment.
As I hate to be that guy, Dave, I would have to agree with you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm a technomaniac. I'm thin. Let's go.
So the people that would fit in the vent,
Flask, Mara, and Skylar.
the people that would fit in the vent would be Flask, Myra, Skylar, and Nova.
Okay.
Jax is a bit too big for the vents. Lefty is a bit too big for the vents. And obviously Buckaroo is too big for the vents. You guys can break it up any way you guys see fit.
That's going first.
All right.
Oh, you have that rolling crate, right, Skylar?
Yes.
That probably will not easily navigate through vents. Perhaps I can tow it with Jax and Lefty on board as though they were children.
That's
Like a wagon.
not a bad idea.
Yes.
I will give you the rolling footlocker. And then we'll climb up in the vents and get going. I don't know if I need to make a roll for this or not, or if I can just go.
No roll, you got it.
Cool.
So those that are venturing into the vents, is going one route. Those going straight through the foggy coolant is going another route. And because Jax and Lefty are more or less in the same situation, Mr. Bryant, I will let you decide where Jackson you go. Are you going with the robots, or are you going a different route?
I think we should do a 3-way split.
All I hear in
Jax.
the back of my head is, "Don't you know you never split the party?"
Jax, I don't think we're gonna fit in that vent, and I don't feel like breathing that shit air down there either. How about me and you go check out your ship and start training some weapons on this one in case things go south.
All right, buddy. Well, you know your shit better than I do, so I'll let you take point.
You might want to grab the little girl too on our way out.
I'm gonna roll so yeah, I would say Nova would want to stick with Jax as best as possible, but she's also torn, but the robots.
Nova, you could fit in the rolling crate, and I could even shut it, and you would at least have the air that's inside of that until we get through the hallway.
It was too dark.
Parenting tips by Buckaroo.
Stick them in a locker, folks. It'll be fine.
That'd be fine.
So I'm gonna have one person in each segment roll a d20. Dave, Robin, and Flask, please roll me a d20. This is just an order check.
That is an 11.
17.
3.
Alrighty. 17.
I thought Mara and Flask were in the same group.
I'm sorry, I thought Mara was going through the mist. Is that accurate or incorrect?
Yeah, I had planned on, because I don't have to breathe. Unless
Okay.
somebody is going to be by themselves if I don't go with them, in which case.
Well, at this point, I feel like there's at least 2 people per group. Correct me if I'm pairing this off. Skylar or Flask, and then there's Buckaroo, Mara, and Lefty and Jax plus Nova.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going through the mist. I don't have to breathe.
Already. So because Mara rolled highest, I'll give them the appropriate amount of time, and then we're gonna quickly knock it down like that, right?
Yep.
So Mara and Buckaroo, as you guys make your way through the mist, Buck, you're treading with this suitcase. And as you guys go through this area, you guys reach a door, and it looks like this door is locked. Now this lock is kind of like a blast door, if you will, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it will take a moment to more or less hack into this to lift this door. Which one of you feel like they're best equipped to do some hacking?
Mara, would you like to find our way through this door?
I am sure that you would be better at this than I am.
I will
But
do
I
my
can-
best.
Okay.
And I will try and plug into the system and see if I can hack through the code to unlock the door.
Absolutely. If you don't mind explaining to me real fast, how does Buckaroo experience cyberspace?
Everything turns to outlines. It's kind of like a old like 1980s like simulator game where everything is just kind of very simple, like hot pink outlines of everything. Everything's on a grid. It's all in super perspective. Yes, exactly. Like Steven's background.
One word, Tron.
Tron. Yes, I'm living in the Tron.
Got it. So as you're beaming yourself in and whatnot, you're going through a corridor, right?
Mhm.
And as you go through this virtual corridor, you see the main point that you got to get into to more or less obtain the access codes to lift this door. And as you approach, you hear your own voice. Are you sure you want to do that?
Why would you not want me to? Oh, and also I do not have treads in this world. In this setting, I have legs.
I love it. I love the attention to detail. On my best. So as you walk your way by, you see all this and you hear that. And you hear your own voice retort, would you not want to stay here?
I do not want to be here. Could you just let me through the door and then I will be on my way?
Well, why don't you give us some privacy instead?
Give who some privacy?
us. And as you feel that, it's almost like you're whisked away, and you see Dorothy's face. Buckaroo,
Dorothy,
how are you?
it has been too long. I understand that we have been unplugged for quite some time. Could you tell me how long it's been since we actually last spoke?
It has been about 24 hours.
I was under the impression that it had been at least over 100 years.
Unsure about that, but I know with us, and you get a quick glimpse into the system. It has been just 24 hours, and with that, you can see the access codes necessary to lift this blast door.
Downloading, downloading, downloading. Okay.
And Parsy's like, "What did you just do?
Nothing.
I thought I could trust you."
And as that happens, I want to physically disconnect from it on the outside of this setting, like pull my umbilical cord out.
Did you just ghost Dorothy?
I did.
And like as you're pulling yourself out, you can kind of see this gnarly version of Buckaroo more or less grasp out as you get whisked away.
It's the juggalo version of my clown self.
You kind of like have a quick panikish reaction, which is, I mean, you tell me, is this a brand new feeling for Buckaroo, or is it something that you always had before?
No, this is new. There's always been darkness in my oily heart, but it's never been quite that dark.
So, Mara, how do you react to this whole new interaction with Buck?
So I'm aware of all of that.
Not in such intimate detail unless Buckaroo explains.
There is something on the inside of the system. There is a clone of me, and they have altered the core operating system of my Buckaroo self. It is darker, and something is wrong with Dottie. Hurry. Here are the codes in case something happens to me, and I rattle off all the codes that I saw.
Okay, I memorized them because I'm a robot and I can do that.
Yep.
So as that happens, Mara Jackson in and blast door opens up. And with that, we are gonna move over to Lefty and Jax. So, buddy, you know your way around here, right?
I know the ship like the back of my claw.
Well, hopefully you can get us somewhere safe. As you guys are making your way through this particular section of the corridor, you're getting near the engineering section, not too far away from where the docking bay would be.
Engineering section, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jax, perhaps we should make a slight detour and make sure Dorothy isn't able to cause us any problems.
Like how you say, what are you talking about, man?
Engineering's right over there. We could disable some crucial systems that might still be running.
You could disable some crucial ships, or maybe you can, as he mimics, disable systems. Catch my drift.
Well, that's my plan.
Mm-hmm.
My legion's still on here, so it's not like we can just jump on your boat and start shooting.
Absolutely, man.
I mean,
So,
maybe if it was just that worm flask, but I like the rest of them.
So how exactly is Lefty planning to disable?
Well, I guess I'm gonna go in there and see if I can't like run a diagnostics to see what's up and running.
Got it. Um, so I'm assuming you're going to use your ship for brains ability.
Yes, that's all I got.
Sure. I'm going to say it definitely works. If you don't mind, give me a D4. Roll your D4 for me, please.
Sure. That is a. Oh, that's a 4. That's a little squiggly symbol. No, they're skulls.
I'm sorry, what was that?
4.
Oh, nice. So as you guys are, as you're jacking in, you feel the sensation of looking through your pad, and you hear Dorothy's voice in your head. Hello, Buckaroo. What are you? I mean, I'm sorry. Hello, Lefty. What are you doing?
Oh, darling, I just wanted to visit you one last time. Because after this, I'm not going to be in Kansas no more.
Well, if you want to see me, you can come over to the main hall.
I'm on my way. I'm totally not on my way.
Nice. So as all this is happening, your I know there's supposed to get like a deception check, but I'm gonna say give me a presence test or guile, if you will.
All right. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good about that. That's a 19 on the die. These dice are on fire, so that's a 19 on the die.
Alrighty. So what you're putting down, Dorothy, is definitely picking up. It takes her a moment to realize what you're saying doesn't correlate with the actions that you're taking. You more or less feel a sensation over you, almost like you're being locked out of the system. And if you don't mind telling me what exactly comes over Lefty in this moment.
As I'm being locked out?
Yes, physically wise.
I think resignation and like Dorothy. Yeah, I knew it was always going to come to this. Too bad we had to fast forward 100 years. It should have been a lot sooner. But all good things got to come to an end. And what systems are still operating?
So the engineering section is definitely still operational. The hangar is still operational. And you get a glimpse that everything is, besides the physical damage done to the ship, nothing is wrong with the Dorothy AI specifically.
Is her core like located here in engineering?
Her core would be.
As she's locking me out, I want to take my claw and just ram it through where the core would be.
Sure thing. Please give me a strength test.
That is a 15, I believe. Yes, 15.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna put a pin on that. Please roll me whatever damage it is you do, and I'll put a pin on that.
Okay, so I do a d6. That's a 2. Can we do anything with our favors for damage?
Favors for damage for what? I'm sorry.
I rolled a 2 on my damage. Is there any way to boost damage by trading in favors?
You can do max damage with a favor.
I would like to do that.
Sure thing. So that'll be 6 damage altogether then.
Yep.
And you jam your claw into this. I'm gonna put a pin on that, but I am gonna transition over to Skylar and Flask.
So as we're going, right, as we're going through the vents, Skylar is gonna say to Flask, with the whole time jump thing, I'm kind of feeling like there's no time like the present to talk. So even though this isn't like the best space for this, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
We're in a pretty shit situation, and everything that's going on, we're trusting a possibly hacked computer by some wackadoo that's spaced out on drugs. Who knows what's actually going on here? We have to get somewhere and be safe and confirm what's up while avoiding potential zombies and all these other things. No, I'm not in a good headspace.
Yeah, I mean, that is a long list of things to do. I know you took it hard when we got fired or terminated. I'm not sure what the term is.
I am someone who's generally essential focused. I have a task at hand, and I usually give my all to it. And here, I don't know what that is. I worked for Grimm. I found interesting things. I experimented on them. They paid me well for it. Now, I don't know what that is.
Well, you are not your job. You are a valuable person without your job. You know that, right? Like, you led us on that mission. You're the reason we were as successful as we were. You inspire us to do better. You keep us together and cool-headed when things go horribly, horribly wrong.
If you say so. I feel that Mara and Lefty have only continued working because the company owned them, and I've seen the occasional looks because we're clearly on different sides of the company here. So I don't know.
But we're not
what all of our
anymore.
fates will be.
We're not on
Yes, but that means I could go to sleep and they could take out their anger because I am much squishier than the robots that they like destroying for fun.
Or you could, get to know them. That's an option too. Like,
I don't know who they are when they're not taking their frustrations out on the robots.
Don't you have anybody that you care about that, well, now is probably very old or gone?
No. As I said, I mostly dedicated my life to finding new things, to experimenting and seeing how two things that had never been combined before, what would happen when you combine them. Not everything is always going to be a success. In fact, few things are, but when you find that thing, it's amazing.
Well, then maybe take this as an opportunity to find new amazing things, because now you get to discover new things about the people you've been with, and you get to learn what goes together with them, what makes them tick. And you can reshape yourself. I mean, this might just be coming from me because of my own experience, but like, I don't have a lot of memories before this mission. That's part of why I joined it, actually, so I could have a direction. I lost my memories during a fluke with what caused all these burns on my body and stuff. I think I went a little too far with the nanobots experimenting and stuff. but I consider the loss of memory kind of a blessing because it lets me choose who I am all over again. It lets me discover things about myself and what I like and don't like, and what the people around me like and don't like. Meeting everybody new all over again. It's kind of exhilarating.
There's definitely something to be said about all of that, but if you wanted me to poke around up there, I certainly could.
I'm not sure I want you to, because I don't know who I
Sure.
was, and I don't know that I care who I was.
Sure, and I respect you enough not to force that kind of decision upon you, but should you wish. So
Yeah.
So
this is
as you guys,
quite a long corridor here to be crawling through. Do you see an exit yet?
you do indeed see an exit, and as you guys kick your way down out the air vent, you land in the bio bay, and Flash, you definitely see a very familiar bioluminescent mushroom there. If you want to re-add that to your equipment, if you didn't
Indeed.
already take it off. And in the corner of this room, you see a figure, a familiar figure, wearing the Galactic Institute Research for Mysterious Materials uniform. Its eyes glow as it crackles down its skin. And then you see the image of Aaron staring at you and saying, "You have returned. I cannot wait to see what we can make of you. And if you don't mind allowing me to end this slightly bit early, that is where I'm going to put the pin on this."
Oh my gosh.
Was not expecting that.
Ah,
You bastard.
I thought he would be dead.
I mean, I have notes that says otherwise, but
Oh my gosh, that's insane. This is wild.
So
We're gonna find him again.
So with that, we will be back here next week for Wormhole. Come join us. And then after that, we're going to be off for Gen Con. If you're at Gen Con, some of us will be floating around there. I'll be floating around with no particular place to be, per se. And then Brian, where will you be?
I'll be holding it down in the Infinite Black booth at booth 2467. We'll have a lot of Vast Grimm stuff there. I'll also be on a couple of panels throughout the days on creating third-party content for Mork Borg, the business of small press RPGs, and learning new RPGs.
Nice. Sounds like a good time. And we'll give a reminder next week as well. With that, find the folks down in the description. Find their links. Follow them. Stalk them across the interwebs in the good way, not the creepy way. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Nerdy.
Stay nerdy.